she's the most impactful women's basketball player that we've seen in maybe generations, just with her ability to draw an audience, her playing style, which is totally part of the modern day playing style, the logo threes. Obviously, once you bring Caitlin Clark to the league, things take off on a totally new, unprecedented level than what we've ever seen. I mean, I think it's fairly fair to say. So she's bringing all of these very new elements, to the game, and the WNBA is generating a lot of media attention that it didn't before. It always deserved to have this media attention when you look at the skill set.
WNBA ratings just took a nosedive. We're talking a 60% drop since Caitlin Clark got booted from the playoffs. That's crazy, right? But here's where things get spicy. Jemele Hill's got something to say about it, and Clark's fans are not having it. Let's break down this drama. Check this out. Clark's games were pulling in an average of 178 million viewers. That's huge.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever had over 1.8 million viewers. This is now on an NFL Sunday. They had over 1.8 million viewers, and the rest of the games had around 400,000 viewers. These people are coming in waves to watch one player who has sold out every single arena that she has played in this season. I have not seen the viewership reports for the games last night yet, but I'm sure that it is probably double of what the Indiana Fever game got on Sunday.
But games without her, only 394,000. The difference is mind-blowing. We're talking record-breaking numbers here. 1.84 million and 2.54 million for her playoff games. Now, the most recent semifinal game, a measly 929,000 viewers. That's less than half of what Clark was bringing in. You know what's even crazier? Someone's got a problem with these numbers. Yeah, you heard that right. Things are about to get messy, and you won't believe who's stirring the pot. Hold on tight, because this controversy is just getting started. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any hotter, someone dropped a bombshell. Imagine this. A respected voice in sports media claiming these eye-popping numbers are misleading. Who would dare challenge the Caitlin Clark effect? Enter Jemele Hill, stirring up a storm with her take on the WNBA ratings dip.
200,000 more people came to watch the Indiana Fever than any other team in the league. The second best was 400,000. The Fever attendance is 200,000 more people this season than any other organization. The Liberty is next at 400,000. These are numbers when people talked about at the beginning of the season, the high tide lifts all boats or whatever, basically. Like, if you buy into this, everybody is going to eat.
Hill's not buying the narrative that the WNBA playoffs are tanking without Caitlin Clark. She's calling out journalists for what she sees as an oversimplification of the situation. According to Hill, it's irresponsible to claim the ratings are down just because Clark's not in the mix anymore. But why is she pushing back so hard against these numbers? Here's where it gets interesting. Hill admits that yeah, the ratings would be higher if Clark were still playing. But she's not stopping there. She's drawing parallels to the NBA, saying, would the ratings be higher if she were in it? Of course. But guess what? A finals would rate higher if it were LeBron versus Steph.
Alyssa Thomas came out once again talking about the negativity that Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans have been spreading this entire season. A significant amount of less fans watching the WNBA now that Caitlin is no longer in the picture. With Caitlin comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs. And with those millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs, unfortunately, is going to come some people who are not nice.
Or if big market teams were in the mix, so what? Hill's got a point about Clark's impact though. She's not afraid to say that Caitlin Clark is basically the MVP of ratings across all American team sports. We're talking bigger than Patrick Mahomes, bigger than Travis Kelce. That's some serious star power right there. But here's the kicker. Even with all that praise for Clark, Hill's still not happy with how people are talking about the ratings. She's calling out those headlines claiming the WNBA playoffs are down because Clark's not there. It's like she's saying, hey, there's more to this story than just one player. Now, you'd think Clark's fans would be all over this praise from Hill, right? Wrong. They're not having it. Not one bit. They're fired up and they're coming at Hill with both barrels. Why? Because they feel like she's trying to downplay what Clark's done for the sport.
Caitlin Clark got all but one Rookie of the Year vote. She will not have the distinction of being a unanimous Rookie of the Year. Is it a big, I would tend to think Caitlin Clark doesn't care, but she probably does care a little bit. And a lot of people are celebrating that. They're excited. She didn't they stay strong, whoever it was that, kept it real and blah, blah, and denied her that distinction.
These fans are passionate and they're not afraid to speak up. They're pointing to Clark's record-breaking performances, her impact on viewership, and how she's brought new eyes to the game. They're asking, why try to minimize that? But there's another layer to this drama that's got people talking. Some of Clark's supporters are saying there's more to Hill's comments than meets the eye. They're questioning if there's a racial angle to her critiques. It's like they're saying, hold up, is this about more than just basketball? This whole situation's got people asking some tough questions. Is Hill making fair points about how we look at sports ratings? Or is she trying to dim Clark's spotlight? And what about those fans who are pushing back? Are they onto something? Or are they just being overprotective? Remember those fans pushing back? Well, they're not just pushing anymore. They're shoving, and they've got some serious ammo. What if I told you this isn't just about Clark's skills on the court, but something much bigger? Clark's supporters are coming out swinging, and they're not pulling any punches.
If Caitlin Clark somehow wins the WNBA championship this year, she will have put together the greatest rookie season in the history of professional sport. Include Caitlin Clark in the conversation, as I like to do, but we're also going to bring the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Caitlin Clark, Deion Sanders, all in the same boat with historical perspective and knowledge. And more than anything, I'm gonna blast the media.
They're fired up about Hill's comments, and they're not afraid to let her know it. One fan even went as far as tweeting, "Are you really this dense?" Ouch, that's some serious shade being thrown Hill's way. But here's the thing, these fans aren't just mad because someone's criticizing their favorite player. They're upset because they feel like Hill's missing the bigger picture. They're saying Clark's success is often undermined because of her race and gender. It's like they're screaming, hey, can't we just appreciate her talent without making it about something else? And get this, Hill's previous comments about Clark's popularity being tied to her race and sexuality. That's what really set things off. Fans are arguing that this kind of talk takes away from Clark's incredible achievements on the court. They're asking, is this fair criticism or something else?
Charles Barkley talking about the Caitlin Clark phenomenon and the people he blames for blowing this whole Caitlin Clark deal.
People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit. These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. What is going on here? And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. But these ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have this thing up.
It's not just about the numbers anymore. Clark's supporters are pointing out that her impact goes way beyond just filling seats. They're talking about how she's bringing new eyes to the game, how she's inspiring young players, and how she's changing the way people think about women's basketball. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some fans are suggesting there might be racial undertones to Hill's critiques. They're questioning why a successful young player can't just be celebrated for her skills, regardless of her background. It's like they're saying, come on, can't we just enjoy great basketball without making it complicated? Now, to be fair, Hill's not completely dismissing Clark's talent. She even said she might already be the best passer in the league. That's some high praise right there. But for Clark's fans, it's too little, too late. They feel like the damage has already been done.
The WNBA Rookie of the Year race was pretty much neck and neck for the majority of the season, but now the league has officially crowned its queen. Caitlin Clark is your 2024 WNBA Kia Rookie of the Year. My girl averaged 19.2 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, and led the league with 8.4 assists per game, and that made her the first rookie to ever lead the W in that category. And I mentioned the Rookie of the Year race being tight throughout the season, but she ended up with 66 votes from a national panel of 67 sports writers and broadcasters.
This whole situation's got people talking about some big issues in sports. It's not just about one player or one set of ratings anymore. We're seeing debates about race, gender, and how we value different athletes. It's like Clark's success has opened up a can of worms that nobody was quite ready for. So, what do you think? Are Clark's fans right to be so defensive? Or is Hill just doing her job as a commentator, even if it ruffles some feathers? And how do we separate legitimate criticism from unfair assumptions in sports? You think this is just about ratings? Oh, we're just getting started. While everyone's busy arguing on Twitter, Caitlin Clark's been busy making history on the court. Her rookie season isn't just good, it's record-breaking. We're talking assists, we're talking triple doubles, we're talking numbers that are making even the toughest critics sit up and pay attention. Let's break it down. Clark led the league in assists per game. That's huge for any player, let alone a rookie. But she didn't stop there. She set the all-time single-game assist record with 19 assists. That's not just Rookie of the Year material, that's Hall of Fame stuff right there. And triple-doubles, Clark's got those too. She became the first rookie to record a triple-double in WNBA history. Not once, but twice.
Caitlin Clark's incredible season has come to a storybook ending as she won the Rookie of the Year award.
You are the 2024 Kia WNBA Rookie of
Caitlin Clark's rookie season, it was a show. Her 769 points set a new rookie record, passing Hall of Famer Simone Augustus from her debut campaign.
In her rookie season, that's the kind of performance that changes games, changes seasons, and maybe even changes the sport. But wait, there's more. During August, Clark was putting up numbers that most veterans dream about. We're talking 24 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's dominant.
Caitlin Clark showed up, and this is proof that her life is 10 times as hard as, to get the same credit.
People were actually watching her play basketball, so that added stress of the much bigger audience certainly came into play. I don't want to say scrutiny, but coverage is another way of lowering the bar. And I'm going to say this again. This is a Confucius mantra. The standards they set for you is what they really think of you.
So with all this success, why is there still so much controversy? You'd think everyone would be celebrating these achievements, right? But here's where things get complicated. Clark's impact is so big, it's forcing people to ask some tough questions about women's sports, media coverage, and how we value different athletes. Think about it. The WNBA has been fighting for years to get more viewers, more coverage, more respect. Now they've got a player who's bringing in record audiences, and some people are trying to downplay it. Why? Is it because she doesn't fit the usual mold? Or is it because her success is making people uncomfortable? This debate about Clark isn't just about one player or one season. It's about the bigger picture of women's sport.
The WNBA was nothing before Caitlin Clark, and she has made it into something. I know how great she is because of Caitlin Clark. The Arike Amagawali, and I'm sorry if I messed up the name, the girl in Dallas, that girl's a baller. These guys are all working off of platforms that were already built long before they got there, and they have not elevated that platform.
It's about who gets attention, who gets criticized, and why. When a player like Clark comes along and shakes things up, it forces everyone to rethink what they thought they knew about the game. But here's the real question we should be asking. Is Clark changing the game, or is the game changing because of her? Maybe it's both. Her skills are undeniable. She's got the stats to prove it, but it's her impact off the court that's really turning heads. She's bringing new fans to the sport. She's getting people talking about women's basketball in a way they never have before. And let's not forget, she did all this as a rookie. Imagine what she could do with a few more seasons under her belt. We could be watching the beginning of a career that redefines what's possible in women's basketball.
They've made Caitlin Clark more interesting. They've made Caitlin Clark the biggest star in American sports. They got this conversation wrong. The ladies, the active players in the WNBA, they haven't screwed up anything. Their little petty jealousy and sniping at Caitlin Clark is why 2 million people are tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball and to watch a bunch of other women blow layups every night.
Alright, let's wrap this up. The Clark Hill drama's got everyone talking, but it's bigger than just two people. It's about how we see women's sports, period. Think about it. One player comes along, breaks records, and suddenly everyone's losing their minds. But why? Here's the deal. The media's got a lot of power. They can make a star or break one. And right now, they're shaping how we see the WNBA. But here's where you come in. You've got a voice. Use it. Talk about women's sports. Share the stats. Get people excited. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Clark or Hill. It's about changing the game for all women athletes. The WNBA is evolving, folks. The question is, are we ready to keep up?